In this business proposal presentation, I will be addressing the main concern that troubles the nursing staff here at Kaiser Permanente Hospital Urgent Care Department. The main issue at hand is the attrition identified at Kaiser Permanente Hospital and Urgent Care by nursing staff, both RN and LVN. We have quantitative and qualitative research focusing on the problem of attrition. We will look at the proposed problem solution, presentation of findings to upper management, and a stakeholder analysis. Attrition of nursing staff at Kaiser Permanente Urgent Care. After all the research that we've done shows that an average of 2 LVNs, licensed vocational nurses, and 1 RN or registered nurse leave the hospital seeking a 32-hour plus work week. Kaiser Permanente Urgent Care only hires part-time and per diem employees due to budget issues. Nursing staff is forced to look in other departments throughout the hospital for available work hours to complete their 40-hour week. As well as other department staff also have been complaining about the hiring practice of non-full-time employment here at Kaiser Permanente. The cost of attrition to the hospital is enormous. For example, an average LVN or licensed vocational nurse who earns about $25 an hour has to be trained for about 6 weeks, and that's a 40-hour week, which ends up costing the hospital about $6,000. Now, the average salary for a registered nurse is about $55 per hour. That's non-specialty RN. And as well, it takes about 6 weeks to train the staff, and they spend about 40 hours a week, and it costs the hospital $13,200. The average hospital will recruit and train up to 80 nurses per year with a direct cost of about $800,000 annually. And some other stats, the cost of an RN vacancy and turnover vary, including a conservative estimate that costs hospitals about $10,000 each time an RN turns over. The American Organization of Nurse Executives estimate the total cost for a medical surgical registered nurse is about $40,000 annually, and $64,000 for a specialty registered nurse. Now, these are nurses who specialize in intensive care, cardiology, and other high acuity levels. An estimated 1.3 million nurses are employed in hospitals in the United States, with a turnover rate each year that's about 195,000 nurses. Here's a chart depicting the cost to train nursing staff at any given hospital. This is the average cost per hospital. The proposed problem solution to attrition, of course, mainly is we need an increase of hours per week to satisfy the needs of the employees, both the RNs and the LVNs. The benefits, incentives, and bonuses are also another plus that most of these individuals are looking for. And perhaps management can look into providing some of these benefits once it's approved by a budget status. Also, increasing the number of full-time employees who help contribute to the productivity. It also will lessen the wait time for patients to be seen by doctors. This decreases stress and overload of all work in all departments. Management needs to consider the options to retain employees by looking at what motivates them to stay in one place. This will avoid overspending in recruitment and training, and it will make a lot of people happy. This is a chart also depicting the qualitative research that we've done, what the previous problems were, what the new proposed problem solutions are. For example, what we're looking for is increasing the number of full-time nursing positions, providing partial benefits to the per diem employees, guaranteeing 40 hours per week to other staff. And as you can see, it is a very important item here because of customer importance. We're going to provide quality, and it's cost effective. The stakeholder analysis that was performed here shows that internal stakeholders in this institution include doctors, nurses, ancillary staff, managers, supervisors, and financial officers. External stakeholders include patients, customers, suppliers, local community members, and local government. The negative results that plague this institution on account of attrition has tremendous impact on the patients, community members, and employees and other stakeholders. The negative results translates into longer wait times, multiple complaints by patients. Doctors complain that there's no staff to help with the workflow. Therefore, the negative predisposition effects affect the RNs and the LVNs. Positive predisposition, once this is all resolved, would be the doctors, nursing staff, other hospital staff, communities, and the patients. And here's another chart that depicts the expectations and change. Of course, we have the matrix showing positive and negative effects of attrition and when can they be expected. We'll look at the budget, which is a main issue here at the hospital. And speaking of the budget, I believe that once we have better staffing all around, there will be less money spent in recruitment and training. That's the goal, to decrease the spending. And to measure the effectiveness of the solution, we have better patient satisfaction scores that will reflect the effectiveness of the proposed plan. Nursing staff productivity will increase. Managers will be able to maintain quarterly budget goals. Doctors will not complain of lack of staff to meet the urgent care workflow. Less complaints by patients, nursing staff, and other hospital employees. And we look at management, the financial officers, CEOs. They will be able to see that once we implement 40-hour work week for most of the employees, retaining employees, this will have an effect in reduction of spending in recruitment and training, which can potentially eliminate about $800,000 annually. And here are some of the references that we looked at.